By 1908, the red clay streets of the city had become a problem. In the long, hot months of summer, the movement of people, wagons, buggies, and the horses pulling them kicked up a layer of dust that seemed to cover everything. In the wet months of the fall and winter, the streets were a muddy mess, filled with ruts, and nowhere in the city was worse than in the center of the community, the square. Something had to be done. So, in February 1908, City Council made a decision that would forever transform the city. It was time to pave our streets. All around the square, 8 inches of concrete were poured to give the new pavement a firm, even paving surface. The Southern Clay Manufacturing Company of Chattanooga, Tennessee, was awarded a contract to lay thousands of vitrified bricks, a special kind of extra-hardened, extra-thick bricks used for street paving, all around the square and on the surrounding streets and alleys. But the changes were not simply limited to street paving. Rather than red clay streets leading to an undefined area around the county's courthouse of the same bare clay surface, the city designated space for a new, landscaped courthouse lawn. And around the square, rather than uneven wooden sidewalks, there would be new curbs and cement sidewalks poured in front of the town's shops and businesses. This public investment was nothing short of transformational, and for the most part, the curbs and sidewalks laid out in 1908 still shape our city's center today. But sadly, yesterday's progress has caused many of today's challenges. At some point in the 1940s, those beautiful brick streets were paved over, likely by the South Carolina Department of Transportation, at a time when the path of U.S. Highway 221 came through the square. Most of the streets in the city of Laurens are not owned and maintained by the city. They are owned by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. However, the city does own a handful of streets and alleys, and many of these have been paved in recent years. But while many of these smaller, less traveled residential streets have seen much needed improvements, the streets that serve our downtown area have not been paved in more than 3 decades. And it shows. In the years since those streets and sidewalks were laid out, the size of cars has changed, the flow of traffic has changed, and thankfully, we now have laws which protect those with disabilities. And yet, our streets and sidewalks didn't change with the times. Once again, something has to be done. We are pleased to announce that, through a grant from the South Carolina Department of Transportation, one of the largest grants ever received by our city, we will soon uncover our historic brick streets and repave our sidewalks. Through this important project, which is part of the city's initiative to build or replace more than 20 miles of sidewalks, we will make our city safer, more accessible, and restore the beauty of our historic brick streets. This is an important step in making Laurens a place which is accessible to all, welcoming to all, and one of the most beautiful small towns in the South.
The Laurens County Disabilities and Special Needs Board is very excited and in support of the Streetscape project that City of Laurens is working on. Disability can mean intellectual disability, it can mean sensory disability, it can mean physical disability, all of which can be affected in their mobility as far as getting around, seeing, moving. And this project will benefit so many that can navigate the city square, other places in the city of Laurens without injury, without frustration, and a sense of inclusion and importance. And so we're very excited about this project and look forward to the ability of folks getting out and being a part of the community.
So excited about the new news. We're going to preserve the 1908 brick that has been there. We're going to restore it and have our new curbing for sidewalk appeal and accessibility. It's going to make it so much easier for our customers to enjoy our beautiful downtown square.
And we are so excited about the unveiling of the historic brick streets in our historic downtown square, combined with our historic courthouse renovation It's going to be one of the most beautiful downtowns in all of America.